Alright, it's finally here. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, this video is entirely spoiler free. I will be doing a spoiler video at a later date. But right now, for you watching this, you need to experience this how I did. No spoilers, nothing of the sort. There are so many surprises in this film that you need to be able to squeal about the same way I did. With that being said, I would like to thank Sega and Paramount for letting me see this movie early, and let's get into my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Before I begin, I'm going to state that there will be a little bias here. This movie nearly means as much to me as my beautiful fiance, and Shadow is my favourite character in all of fiction. So I was either going to love this movie more than my firstborn child, or I was going to absolutely hate it for squandering the source material. Well, little baby Gwen Hatcher can get in the fucking bin because this movie is everything I wanted and more. So a new foe is awakened after 50 years in suspended animation, and it's up to Team Sonic to help stop the legendary Shadow the Hedgehog, voiced by Keanu Reeves. After collectively getting their asses handed to them, they turn to their greatest villain for help, Jim Carrey's Dr. Eggman, who is joined by Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, also played by Jim Carrey. I swear to God, we do not deserve Jim Carrey as a species. The man comes in and chews every bit of scenery in the shot. He's eccentric, energetic, and dastardly in both his portrayal of Ivo and Gerald. He gets more time here than the previous films, not just due to him playing two characters, but those characters' relationship being one of the core elements of the film. They're joined by Lee Majub's Agent Stone, whose relationship with the Doctor is further explored. I love these movies, with Lee probably being my favourite non-video game character in the series. He bounces off Carey and Team Sonic perfectly, and adds a grounded perspective on the insanity that is hurtling around the characters. Team Sonic are back in full force, with Schwartz, O'Shaughnessy and Elba reaching icon status with the characters. They form their little family with James Marsden's Tom and Tika Sumpter's Maddie, and it's a gloriously wholesome setup that invokes a kids gone to college type dynamic when Team Sonic go off to save the day. Sonic is learning how to be a leader and finds himself between morality and responsibility. He's definitely becoming more like his video game counterpart, with his headstrong nature starting to lead his decisions and thus facing the consequences of them. Schwartz adds a new layer to the character and shows how far his range as an actor can go. Idris Elba brings the lovable goofball Knuckles back to provide the muscle for Team Sonic. His dry wit is infectious, yet he's still burdened with responsibility that at times puts him at odds with Sonic. Colleen O'Shaughnessy is Tails in his most perfect form. He's there for Sonic at every moment, often trying to bring logic and reasoning into the fray as Sonic and Knuckles tend to use their fists. Tails isn't given a ton to do here. He's an integral part of Team Sonic and his insight is often bulletproof. But in the face of their latest foe, there's not a lot the little fox can do. Everyone falls to the might of my favourite character, Keanu Reeves' Shadow the Hedgehog. Never before has a character been so perfectly cast. Keanu brings a level of darkness, sorrow and empathy to Shadow that is intrinsic to his video game counterpart. The entire movie hinges on Shadow's past and his quest to right the wrongs that happened to him. The intrigue as we walk into his mystery is the emotional core of the film. His story of revenge coming from a place of love and loss, wearing his emotions on his sleeve, seeking justice for how the world treated someone who only ever saw the beauty in it. It's a heartbreaking story that is sure to invoke an emotional reaction and maybe the feeling that people deserve what's coming to them, at least to some degree as the plot unfolds. The plot is tremendously well paced, with all our characters getting a moment to shine. It's a much darker tone than the previous two entries, yet still came with that feel-good aura these movies are known for, balancing the light and dark brilliantly, which is part of the core of this movie. How does one's circumstances define their future? And it's explored through the eyes of Sonic and Shadow. Sonic fans are going to find plenty to squeal over, from the music used in the film to the film's two post-credit scenes. And let me tell you, when these post-credit scenes came on, my entire theatre was screaming. I went into the movie expecting Sonic Adventure 2, the film, and as much as it does use the game as the blueprint, it very much varies to the point where I was genuinely surprised at multiple points in the film, and I know Sonic Adventure 2 like the back of my hand, okay? I've played it to death, and it still surprised me. It still took twists and turns that made it a really fresh and interesting take. If Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is considered the greatest video game movie of all time, this definitely knocks it off that spot. In a world of Mario's, Fallout, Arcane, this earns its spot at the very top as one of the greatest adaptations of a video game the world has ever seen. The film is handled with so much care and attention and is dripping with fan service, there to make you squeal. Yet it never feels like it's pandering or detracting from the real core of the movie. I can honestly say this is my favourite movie right now, and as you are watching this, I will be on my way to my second early screening with Sega for the Sega Star screening. And then on release day, I have my tickets for the first showing of the day. Me and Jess will be coming right out and going into the next one. So I'm going to see it like 4 times by the time it's out for everyone. And I think, yes, I was obviously going to do that with the Sonic movie anyway, but how much this has gripped me from that first showing, how desperate I am to see it again, and how I keep replaying in my head. Yeah, I think I'm about to contribute a fair amount to the box office total on this one. This is the perfect, quintessential Sonic movie. And for that reason, I have to give it the very top score, the perfect score. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a 10 out of 10 movie. Go and see it. If you love this series, you are going to have the time of your life in that cinema. Well, that wraps up my non-spoiler thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I will be following up with a spoiler video very, very soon. I know that you're all waiting for my Sonic X Shadow Generations review. Again, it's coming. It's just on the back burner because of this, and it's going to be a very long review. So I wanted to get this review out first. And obviously I know the DLC is out, Sonic Movie 3 DLC. It's awesome. I may do some content on that before Sonic X Shadow Generations review, but we'll just have to see how that goes for the time being anyway. Well, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're new around here, or you've been around here for a while and you haven't hit it, hit the subscribe button, slap a like on it, leave a comment down below of what you thought of the film and what you're excited for. It really helps a smaller YouTuber like myself get those numbers in, get those views. So it really would mean the world to me if you could do it, and it costs you absolutely nothing. We are currently on the push to 3,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, that really would mean a lot to me. I am your best source of Sonic the Hedgehog on the internet, and the next Sega employee, so I can offer a unique perspective on things that a lot of other people don't really see. So there's your reasons. You've hit the button, right? Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Lots of love. Bye for now.